Hi book lovers, welcome and welcome back to Chocolate Covered Pages. I'm Kiona and today I'll be doing the try a chapter tag. So I've seen this tag floating around booktube for years and I've always wanted to get involved, and now that I have a booktube, now I could get in on this but put my own little spin on it. So basically, try a chapter is where you pick a group of books, could be 5 to 10, however many you want, and you only read the first chapter of each of those books, and then you come back and you give your reaction to them, and then after that, you decide which one you want to continue to read. So I decided that I would love to do a black girl fantasy version of this because why the hell not? And plus, I have a good amount of them that I still definitely need to read, so I just grabbed them and let's get into it. So, first, I got Daughters of Nari by Rennie K. Amayo, and A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy, Queen of the Conquered by Kaysen Calendar, and Legendborn by Tracy Dion, and The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I think I'm going to kick it off with Queen of the Conquered. So I'll be back and we'll talk about it. So I just finished reading the prologue and first chapter of Queen of the Conquered. The prologue pretty much opens up with this girl, Sigourney, with her whole family pretty much getting killed, and she is the last remaining survivor of this noble family. So after the prologue where they get killed and she gets pretty much whisked away to safety, so then chapter 1 is about like maybe 17 pages, and that pretty much opens up with there being a slave uprising. So this book, from what I'm gathering, because I didn't really like read the back, from what I'm gathering from the first chapter and the prologue, is that this book is an adult fantasy, Caribbean inspired, about the colonization of the Caribbean, which is super interesting, because this girl, Sigourney, is black, as you can see, and these colonizers obviously are European, and they are ruling over this Caribbean island, and but she is still considered a noble, so she's only kind of like a step up above the black slaves. She's not a slave, but she ain't like up here with the Europeans, the colonizers. This sounds kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this main character throughout the book. I don't know what's her full-on plan. Oh, and then also too, we also find out, so the magic system. We also find out that it's called a craft. Her magic is that she can actually read people's minds, and she can also take over their mind, like control them and make them like kill themselves or kill someone else, which is actually kind of cool. So I'm intrigued, and I'm also liking the descriptions of the Caribbean island because I love it. Like the food, the sugarcane, and the descriptions of the island. I am enjoying that because how often do you see that in adult fantasy? Period. So that was this one, and the next one I'm going to pick up is A River of Royal Blood. So A River of Royal Blood is basically about two sisters battling for the throne. They have to kill each other, and that winner will become the queen. So the prologue opens up with one of the sisters, Eva, being born, and it's shown that she is born with something, with a magic that's called blood and marrow, which apparently is like this magic that is frowned upon by everyone. Even the people who have it are ashamed. So I'm interested to see, like, what is this magic about? Why is it so scary? So the apprentice, who sees that she's been born with this blood and marrow, he sends a raven to another woman. I don't know who this woman is. He sends it to another woman, basically letting her know. So chapter one opens up with Eva sneaking out of the palace to go hang out and party with one of her fae guards, who's absolutely beautiful. And they go run off to this party, and while they're at this party dancing away and hanging out, she encounters another guardsman who he seems a little bit sketchy. He also seems like he might recognize that she is a princess. So she pretty much tries to get away from him. And she always feels kind of like he's watching her. And then all of a sudden, the party gets raided. So now she is looking for her guard, so that they could try to run back to the palace without being discovered. Is she gonna make it back in time? What is this whole magical system about? I'm pretty interested in this one. So we'll see what happens. So I've just finished reading the prologue and first chapter of Legendborn by Tracy Dion. And this prologue is sad as hell. Like, it pretty much opens up with her mom has just gotten into this accident, and Bree and the cops are at this, I think they're at the hospital, and they are just looking for answers, and Bree is pretty much, I mean, feeling as you can imagine, as anybody would imagine. And she's literally running through in her mind, like, the last few conversations that they've had, and they had literally just gotten into a big fight like the night before. And then it leads us to chapter one, which is 3 months after the accident, and Bree is still, of course, feeling a lot of grief and trying to process that. Well, not really process it, actually, because that's also one of the reasons why she went to this schools, because she wanted to leave everything that has to do with her mom back over there, including her dad, because it was just too much for her. So she's now at this school, and it opens up with, it's like the first night of the school, and these kids are all at this cliff, and they're all like hanging out and drinking and partying and jumping off this cliff into the water. And her friend is like, first of all, her and her best friend, their little banter is so freaking cute. I love it. I love when it's like best friends and they just like really get each other. Her friend is basically like the angel on the shoulder, like, girl, we do not need to be here right now, because apparently if you get caught off campus grounds after dark, like, it's an automatic expulsion. So I completely understand that. I would have been like, yeah, I ain't going. And then she meets this guy named Selwyn, I think that's his name, and he's that, that dark, brooding character that we love. But when she looks at him, she sees something else. Like, she sees some extra colors, and she feels things and stuff. And he seems surprised that she can even see any of those things. I'm thinking, like, clearly she has some kind of special kind of vision to where she can see things that most people can't see. So far, this one is like up at the tippity top, possibly, for me continuing, but we shall see. So I just finished reading chapter 1 of Daughters of Nari, and this first chapter is super short. It's like 7 pages. Basically it opens with someone called the Easy, And this guy is like the ruler of this land. And he hears from one of the chiefs of the land that they have captured a magical creature. So he doesn't believe it at first, but he comes there anyway. And then when he gets there, he goes into the cave and he sees that it really is an oracle. And it's this beautiful woman who's the oracle. And basically, she calls his ass out. Like, I know who you are. I know how you became the ruler. You killed the mother, which I don't know what that means, but you killed the mother, and that's how you got all of this here. She's like, oh, I've seen some stuff. You know, I have, you know, oracles always got like some, they always got like some weird riddle, you know, some little weird message that you gotta decipher what it actually means. She was like, I seen some stuff. She told him like the mother had twin daughters and they're gonna be pretty much the death of you. So that actually sounds pretty dope. I don't know. I feel like each book is kind of like one-upping each other. I don't know, because it's only been 7 pages, and I'm definitely tuned in, you know, because, yes, of course I want to read about that. Last one is going to be The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. And, I mean, I just don't know what else can top what I've already been reading. So let's see what happens. I just finished reading the first chapter of The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, and it's about 13 pages, and it's basically about this girl named Dika, and she has reached a certain age where in her village they do like a blood ceremony for little girls. And what this ceremony does, it checks their blood to see if they're pure, and if they're pure, then yes, they get to stay in the village and live a normal life. Dika is pretty much having a lot of anxiety about this ceremony because she's worried that, you know, she's going to be seen as impure. She already feels kind of like an outsider in this village anyway, because she's in like a north village where most of the people there have like pale skin and blonde hair, and so does her dad because he's from that village. But her mom is from a southern village where they have like darker skin tone. So she is pretty much ostracized in this village that she pretty much, you know, she grew up in. This is where she was born. But people have always like looked at her darker skin and said, she doesn't really belong here. And there's a little bit of bullying that goes on in the first chapter. And her mom also just passed away maybe like 3 years ago, so she's also still feeling the grief from that. And then she's also kind of alluding to some kind of ability that she has that she's gotten from her mom that nobody knows about at all. So there's also that. For me, as far as like my first reaction to this, I'm not, it's not really doing enough for me. It's not really doing enough for me to feel like, oh yeah, I need to, like, I didn't really feel anything while I was reading this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But that doesn't mean that it can't possibly be a good book. So it's not like I'm like writing it off or whatever, but I don't think I'll be picking this one. So let's go back over the ones that I checked out. So The Gilded Ones, Legendborn, Daughters of Nari, A River of Royal Blood, and Queen of the Conquered. So, okay. Most of these were very good, like out the gate. I'm very much interested in seeing what's going to happen here, 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 for sure. So I'd say that these were like, these were like my top three. And then for me to pick one to continue to read, dun da da da, I think I'm going to go with this one. And the reason why I'm thinking about going with this one is because I like fantasy books that have a lot of different kind of creatures in it. When I first of all, I had no idea that there was like fae in this book. So, yeah, I like fae. I like to read about fae because they're sexy, and I like when they do the glamour thing, and they're always like super good looking. So I'm interested. And then also this magic that Eva has, this blood and marrow. I want to know what that's about. So I'm super intrigued about this one, and this is where I'm gonna continue this. And if you watch my September TBR video, which I'll link up above, I mentioned that I'm gonna be doing the bad bitch readathon. And so the first prompt was to just read a book about like a bad bitch, and I think Eva could be that bad bitch. So there you go. I'm picking the book for that because I left it as a blank in that video. So I just wanted to address that. But anyway, that's all I have today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know. Do you think I made the right decision? Would you have gone in another direction? Let me know. So until next time, bye.